found out 2 weeks ago out of the blue, and I was so very naive, and so was my twin's fiancé. What in the actual duck? What kind of trailer park Maury Povich bullshit have they been doing? Betrayed and hurt are an understatement. I never imagined the two people I was closest to in this world would do something so vile and destructive. 6 families are destroyed. My other siblings are caught in the middle. I can't imagine what they are feeling. My wife's family is devastated as well. I adored her family and was so proud and honored to be a part of it. I wasn't always the best. I had some major faults and issues in the beginning of our relationship. I had just gotten out of a nasty divorce that dragged me through the mud and mangled who I was as a person. I let the depression and complex PTSD take hold, and it was a very steep slope from there. I wasn't the best, and I put my wife through hell of lying, hiding my drinking, and just being an all-around piece of shit I didn't recognize. I wasn't a good father, and I was in seriously bad shape. I could have died and wanted to. I was in self-destruction mode on hyperdrive. After a while I decided enough is enough. I knew I wanted to make her the happiest woman on earth, even though the worst of it, I always thought my wife walked on water. My mother told me she was the one for me, and that meant everything to me. My twin's fiancé was the one, and when I heard my mother say that and she became family, I desperately wanted that for myself. I needed a change, and it needed to happen now. I went to detox and have been sober for 3.4 years, and I will tell anyone that it's the best decision I ever made and a precious gift to myself. The first year of sobriety was really hard, as I had been under the influence of something since I was 12 years old. I never matured, never dealt with anything in a healthy manner. Physically abusive father, mom didn't really do all that much, but we had our needs met. I thought I was going crazy or I lost my mind. Severe anxiety, crippling depression, depersonalization, dissociation was absolutely checked out. It wasn't fair to her or my family, but I pulled myself together. I became a person I was proud of. I found myself again. I learned a lot throughout that period about growth, forgiveness, self-love, and appreciation. I had such an epiphany, so to speak, that it was a totally different life. My twin and my wife had absolute trust. I had no reason to think otherwise. They would play games together. I had zero issue with my twin and my wife being together, as my sil pretty much assumed their relationship was like ours. Strictly platonic and a great friend. Everyone needs someone to lean on during difficult times. We got married 3 years ago. My twin was my best man. I was on top of the world and happiest I had ever been. We moved into a beautiful home with a pool for the kids and a garage for me. Gorgeous, but the rent was a lot of money each month, and we moved in 2 years ago. We had it made and I thought we were happy. Business picked up for her job, but it was reduced, so I needed to maintain my other jobs as long as needed. I don't know who started it, nor do I really care. What's done is done, whether it be 1 time or 3.5 years worth. It doesn't justify that at all. I'm destroyed and devastated to the point I had to take FMLA and fly to my youngest brother in Georgia. I can't think straight. My wife keeps telling me she's sorry, but those sorry lose their luster and meaning when used so frequently. I do believe she's sorry, I really do, but she's only sorry because she got caught. He didn't even have the balls to admit it. He had this dumbfounded, smug, ducking look on his face, and it took everything in me to restrain myself. I'm so lost and I don't know what to do. They could have easily stopped at any point in time, and my sil would have been blissfully naive. I don't have it in me to be hateful. I've been there and I don't like it. I have no brother at this point, and I don't know if my wife and I can come back from this. She's being honest as far as I know, but I have no proof of anything. They say it was never physical. I call bullshit. You don't spend this much time together with no restraints or oversight or even a concern because, hey, he's my twin and that's the love of my life. Clearly all of that means jack shit. I can't look at my wife without thinking of what they have done together, the conversations they have had and discussed about us and our relationship in S-time life. I try to hug her and I will get a whiff of her smell and imagine my brother smelling the same thing, or picturing the unthinkable in my bed. So many disturbing thoughts go through my head. I love her, but my family has been blown apart. We will never spend a holiday together. Our 40th birthday is coming up. That's duckying done, and it was the one I was looking forward to. I celebrate everything with them and they stole it from me. They stole my life, my dignity, my pride, and now that it's in the open I feel like the biggest jackass in the world. I can't possibly think of a better description than humiliation. I can't believe anything she says and I question everything. You both knew the end result if this came to light. Him more so. How the duck could you willingly throw away 40 years of brotherhood and a tight close one at that? I love them both so much and want nothing more to wake up from this nightmare. I want my life and happiness back. I didn't ask for any of this. Sure, I had my faults, but none worth this. How do you come back from this? How can I ever look either one of them in the eye again? I lost everyone I cared about. God help me. Comment 1. A similar thing happened to me, and it is more common than many people think. My then husband was having an affair with his nephew's wife, who was also my best friend. I had 2 small children and was recovering from a domestic violence injury, so it was devastating. 2 people I loved dearly and trusted were secretly having a relationship and stealing money from our family business as well as from his brother. It was a breach of trust I never recovered from, and the DV injury left me permanently disabled. I highly recommend getting some counseling, as it works for most people, so you can learn to cope with it and trust again. Cutting all contact from the both of them will help you heal, because when trust is broken you will always be suspicious of them. My husband had cheated several times before I threw him out, but because I was dependent on him with no car or job and being pregnant as well, I tried to make it work after he promised not to do it again. If they cheat once and get away with it, they will do it again, so it might be time for you to make that first move and kick her to the curb. Your wife is only sorry because she got caught. I hope you can move on quickly and find someone else to love and trust again. Comment 2. Having been cheated on after 25 years of marriage, I totally agree that sorry means nothing. Absolutely nothing. And will continue to mean nothing. Let yourself feel anything you want to feel. There is a long process to get through now. Everyone does this differently, and people are full of well-meaning advice. If you can, and are comfortable to, get professional advice. Seek counselors or psychologists, lawyers, financial planners. Don't rush. If sitting and staring is all you can manage, then that is enough. Let people who you trust help you. If I could get you in 4 of strength, hope and courage, I would, because this journey is an Everest. Bless. Comment 3. Why should you have do anything? The trust was broken by your wife and brother. If your wife wants to fix it, she has to do the hard work and prove it. Your reaction to her smells and the thoughts you get are normal, and she can work her arse off, and you have every right to still say no, it's not going to work, as much as you have the right to try again with her. If your brother had sense of decency, he would own up and beg for forgiveness, but since he can't do the first one, he isn't worth your time. Your mother and siblings caught in the middle must be hard, though I'm sure both your wife and brother have lost respect in their eyes, and they will have to work to rebuild it. Don't rush, take your time, and in the end do what's right for you. Comment 4. Proud of you for not resorting to destructive behavior. The relationship between you and your wife and you and your brother is over. There are some absolute deal breakers in life. Betraying your sibling by sleeping with their spouse, and believe it, it was physical, is not something you can come back from. Don't listen to anyone talking about forgiveness. This is one instance where forgiveness is off the table. Brother can ask for that in the hereafter, but judging by his response to being caught, don't hold your breath waiting for it. Comment 5. Please don't relapse. The answer does not lie at the bottom of a glass, can, or bottle. You mentioned your younger brother. He's a valuable resource if you let him be one. Go and see on your twin. Make sure your family knows it, and why. Get some money of your own together, something she can't access. You may need it. Focus on work, hobbies, and above all the kids. Don't lose your temper. Find a therapist, now. This is too big to handle on your own. Remember that there are a lot of strangers rooting for you. And again, don't relapse. You've been down that road and you know it leads to ugly places. Comment 6. Sorry? No. If they slept together once for whatever insufficient reason, she was immediately ashamed, and she told you herself, then sorry would carry a lot of weight. This was a long-term affair that required hiding and lying. Your wife and your twin should stay together. Sorry, they've been together for 6 years, and you should move on. Feel free to have some shallow rebounds along the way as long as you are honest about your situation. I forgot to say, initiate divorce immediately without moving out of the house. The longer you wait, the more your finances will continue to entangle and the harder the divorce will be. There are several resources for people in your situation. Take care of yourself legally. If you feel bad now, imagine how you will feel if you are paying a mortgage and alimony to support the house that your twin brother lives in with your ex-wife. Depending on how old your kids are, you may not need to take responsibility for hiding the reason for the divorce from them. Thanks you for watching Everyday New Movies. See you soon.